This is Courtney.
And this is Kelsie.
And we're Pen Pals.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 10. We made it 10 episodes, so we decided today we're going to travel back in time and talk about some of our favorite decades. Because get it? 10? Yeah?
I get it.
I'm so lame. But anyway, today we are decked out in our favorite 90s, early 2000s garb. We are both 90s babies. We lived in this decade. It's crazy to think that we're old enough to see trends be recycled at this time and see 90s things coming back. For those who are just listening, I am in my jean jacket. I am in a Patrick Star t-shirt where he's holding a trumpet and saying, "Is mayonnaise an instrument?" I have a hair clip. I wore so many hair clips, butterfly clips, bumpets, all the good stuff in your hair during that time. Scrunchies are coming back, which is so much fun. And Courtney is also decked out in super cool 90s gear.
Yeah, so I'm kind of harkening back to my early 2000 days where I was obsessed with Juicy Couture. And so I am wearing a velour Juicy Couture sweatshirt, and it has the matching pants as well, but I'm wearing the sweatshirt and it's a lovely burgundy pink sort of color, and I had the same exact color. This was like my favorite gift I ever got. I was so freaking psyched about it. I was obsessed with Juicy. That was every gift I always asked for, so I was so excited when it came back. But yeah, we're going to talk more about the things that came back in a little bit. It's just so fun.
I love that. It reminds me of Mean Girls, and those vibes are just awesome. I had a denim skirt, the skirts on Mean Girls that flare out, the little peplum mini skirts. I had so many of those. Perms. I remember begging my mom to get a perm because everybody was getting perms and making their hair all curly and wavy. I remember the guys had the frosted tips. That was such a cool thing. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC. I was listening to Mandy Moore and Hilary Duff and No Doubt, who a lot of these bands, they've broken up, and Gwen Stefani is her own big thing now. We had Destiny's Child. Beyonce is her own big thing now. And I don't know, it's just crazy. People are "Oh, Beyonce." I'm yeah, she was in Destiny's Child. And then there are people now who don't know what any of that means, having to not use the internet when you had an important phone call coming in because they were connected. Do you remember those days?
Yeah.
I couldn't call, or because my parents had to use the internet, and I remember getting the internet. I saw a really funny meme the other day, and it was this mom who was trying to explain to her kids that she was older than Google, and they were just laughing at her, and I'm oh, that's funny. And then I was wait, we're all older than Google. So crazy. What were we doing without texting or Zoom or podcasts? These things weren't available to us when we were kids, and it's so crazy that you're what do you want to be when you grow up? And that job didn't even exist yet. Which I think is really crazy. In the whole digital age, we didn't really grow up with a lot. I mean, social media I got in late high school. I remember I got Facebook. I didn't get Instagram till I was out of college. It's just crazy that kids are growing up in a different way, and seeing them discover the trends that are coming up or coming back has been mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, because they think it's oh, that's a new thing. It's no. This was I wore this in middle school, so it's
exactly.
crazy.
I wore so many bright colors. I feel I'm more reserved in my colors now, though I am trying to branch out after having a child, because kids' clothing is so bright and colorful, and now I feel I need to dress bright and colorful again. But it's cool to have a jean jacket again. I had when I was little. Overalls, I know, have been back the last couple of years, and all kinds of fun things. But that's what we're going to talk about too. We're going to talk about some of the trends coming back, some of the things that we're excited to see, that we're reminiscing about, and some of the things that we just want to leave in the past and move on, and that's where they should stay. So Courtney, start us off, because you had a super cool list of trends to talk about.
Yeah, so I did a little bit of research and some of the trends that are coming back, which we already kind of know. So I'll start with some of the things I'm happy about. So some of the things I'm happy about are I love crop tops and I love like high-waisted pants and even a little bit of wider leg pants. I mean, I am a millennial. I'm not going against millennials, but I am moving away from the skinny jean. I do like the proportions that like a not super skinny jean gives you, like just to kind of have like a balanced bottom. So I do like a bit of like a wider leg pant and a high rise pant. That's in the 90s. What do you think about that, Kelsie? Do you wear pants like that?
I do, yeah. And I like the whole high-waisted look. And I'm gonna be talking from a mom perspective. I don't like this low rise coming back. I don't want to be leaning down to play with my child. Like, I need everything to stay where it is and stay high-waisted. We actually had a poll on our Instagram and we asked our followers what we thought of or what they thought of low rise jeans coming back. And 100% of you, not one single person, said that they were excited and you all wanted to keep high waisted. So I'm not the only one. They are just they're good for moving on the go, like comfortable. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't go back to that for sure.
Me neither. Like I remember like and I was like small in high school, middle school, and like the low rise jeans were so low that like my butt crack would stick out if I like bent over with some of these like Abercrombie Hollister jeans that were like all the rage. I wore like all Abercrombie Hollister, by the way. That was like my thing in high school. That was like the thing. So, which is also coming back a little bit. Abercrombie has had like a total rebrand since then and lately, and they're coming out with a lot of like cooler clothes now, totally different from what it was in the early 2000s with like all their like logos everywhere and stuff. It's a lot like cooler, fresher right now. So yeah, and so some other trends that are coming back would be platform shoes. Those are really in this summer as well, with like platform sandals and like squishy sandals, like puffy sandals is what's in. That's what they call it. There's like little puffy on top. Like I, it's interesting. Yeah, so I do like those and like the platform. And it's funny, I texted you the other day those Steve Madden, those famous black Steve Madden sandals that had like kind of like a material on top. Those are back. Those are at Nordstrom's right now. And yeah,
And I
it's
wore
crazy.
them to my 11-year-old piano recital. I had a pair. I had a pair of those squishy, like flip-flop shoes too, like the really puffy. I don't even know what brand they were, but they were so cool. And I remember I wanted one. And like the shrunken shirts, it's just giving me all these flashbacks.
Yeah.
Read about all this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. And so with the shrunken shirts, crop tops are also in. Those go well with like I'm not someone that like regularly has like my full stomach out, but like it goes well with the wide leg, high waisted, just like balance that out. So I'm a fan of crop tops as well. And little baby tees too is what they're kind of called, like little t-shirts. I was wearing one the other day and like sometimes there's a little like frilly on the sleeve, like a little like scrunchy. So it kind of like harkens back to those like tiny t-shirts that were all like scrunched and then they would like stretch out. That was like
Great. But yes, with the
really
low
nice.
rise, I remember showing your belly button was so cool and Britney Spears did it. But I was like 8 at the time and my mom's like, no, you're not showing your belly button at school. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. And then yeah, some more things coming back are like oversized clothes, like oversized t-shirts and paired with like bike shorts. So there's so many classic pictures of Princess Diana wearing that. If you don't know what we're talking about, just like look up Princess Diana and you'll see pictures of this, like a big oversized sweatshirt or a big t-shirt and like tight little biker shorts with kind of like dad sneakers, like chunky sneakers. That's super in, which I like to wear as well. And then matching stuff is back. So like matching sets, like a plaid matching set, like of the movie Clueless is back, but also just like other matching sets are totally in, which I feel like kind of started in the 90s, early 2000s, sort of like having like super matching sets with like pants and blazer or pants and skirt and top, like all the same. So I think that's fun as well. And then also coming back are Uggs. They are coming back, the like classic Ugg with like more so like the classic tan one with the short, like really short Uggs. Um Haley Bieber has been seen wearing those, a bunch of like models and stuff. I've been seen wearing those. What do you think of that, Kels?
Those were like a staple when I was a teenager. And I mean, I grew up in the Midwest. They were just warm and it was the best, most practical thing. So, I mean, I live in Phoenix now, so I probably won't be able to wear them here. So I can't jump on that bandwagon. But I'm totally for like the matching sets. I remember
Hmm.
everything was matchy when I was younger too. Like you'd have the matching leggings with the tee and everything at the time. So it's kind of fun that that's coming together because I remember when I got older, I feel like when we were teenagers, it started being more uncool and you're like, no, this doesn't match. I want this. I look too put together. And now people want to look put together. It's kind of crazy. I just want to be comfortable. And the bike shorts thing, I was really hesitant about at first. I'm not gonna lie. And now I wear them all the time because I'm at home with like big t-shirts and stuff because it's so comfortable. You can move. Obviously, you can bike. I don't bike in bike shorts. That's too much for me. But you can do whatever you want in those. So I think that's a lot of fun coming back to. I think just people want to be comfortable. I think athleisure and the matching like tracksuits and stuff that you're wearing. People want to be comfortable and fashionable in a sense. If you can do both at once and rock athleisure, like that is cool when whatever decade you're in.
Yeah. Yeah, athleisure is always something that's cool. And yeah, Juicy Couture, as I mentioned, is coming back, which is very exciting.
Like a flashback.
um yeah, and then what else? So like little jean skirts are kind of coming back. Which
Nah.
is, yeah, are you excited about that? What?
I think it's cute. I had so many like denim mini skirts when I was a kid, like just so many. But when I was a kid too, we had skorts, you know, like this
Yeah.
shorts. And I was livid because I saw a TikTok recently of someone probably 10 years younger than me, like a teenager. And she's like, look at my cute skirt. It has shorts under it. Like, this is so cool. And I'm like, it's a skirt, girl. Like, this is not a new invention. I had a gazillion of them, but I just think I think they're really cute and they have always had a special place in my heart because I seriously owned so many. Like, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited. I always loved a good jean skirt and stuff. Also coming back is like tennis skirts. Like it kind of like looks like a mini tennis skirt. I am on the fence about that. Like I feel like I'm not sure if I'll look like too juvenile like wearing that. So I haven't bought one myself yet.
I think you look really like athletic. I don't know. I played tennis in high school, so I had a million tennis skirts. I didn't wear them for fun. I just wore them for tennis, but I think it's like kind of a like cute, flirty, like again, very comfortable athleisure type look.
Yeah. Yeah, so maybe I'll get one. I'm not sure. But also a lot of times paired with like the little tennis skirts are little cardigans, like cropped cardigans that also goes well with like the high-waisted trend. Some people started on like I don't know, TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Gen Z generation has been wearing little cardigans like open with like no bra, no anything under it. I don't know if I'm that risque to do that in case a little something slips out, but those are coming back in that way you don't have to wear them without anything under it. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I wore actually a little cardigan set with like a matching little bra top on one of our last episodes. So you could wear it in that.
Cute.
Thanks. So you can wear it in that way as well, which I thought was fun. And then also coming back with like, a little bit of like baggier pants is the cargo pants. I am a fan of cargo pants. Not everybody's a fan of that, but I do have a pair of like army pants. It reminds me of like the Mean Girls quote, like she wore army pants and flip flops, so I wore army pants and flip flops. I always think about that when I wear my army pants with flip flops.
I had a pair when I was a kid from Limited Too. And
Yeah.
they were like a dark blue cargo pant, but I don't know if you ever own these, but do you remember the pants that like zipped off so you could wear them as capris or like as shorts, and then you would zip the leg back on and they could be different lengths? Do you remember those from the 90s?
I don't know if I had those, but that makes sense.
I remember I was in Iowa in the winter and I had the pants and we were going on a Hawaiian vacation, and I got on the plane and I thought I was so cool. Like I unzipped them into shorts and like I was just in shorts on the plane. I was like, I'm in Hawaii. I was like, that's crazy. It's so fun.
I love it. That's so funny. Yeah, and then kind of going along with like the 90s stuff is oversized flannels. Now what's was really in this past fall and winter was what we call a shacket, a shirt jacket. And so I have one that's like kind of like a checkered flannel material, but it's also a little more structured as a jacket. So I think that's like a fresh way to wear flannel right now.
I've always loved flannel, and I think it really started in the 90s like grunge scene, and I feel like that's really, I don't know if grunge is my style, but I just like to be comfortable and I like big t-shirts and stuff, so I was totally on that this winter.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So flannel, I feel like has stayed in for a while, and it's always there in some way. And yeah, other things that have come back, like accessory wise, are like clips, how you're wearing the butterfly clips, the little butterfly clips that you can put all throughout your hair back in. Bigger clips, how you're wearing the claw clip. I almost wore a claw clip in my hair today, but I couldn't do it right. But yeah, all
It's been
those.
wild. No, there were so many. Remember like those infomercials, and they had all sorts of cool hair stuff like the bumpets. I remember I had one and it looked like a little stencil and you could do different parts. I remember like zigzag parts were really cool. And there was this little mechanism that I bought and you could go across your part with it and it would make it into these shapes. And it was so cool. And then you'd like crimp your hair. That was the look of the 90s. And I also want to mention the roll-on glitter. Did you ever like just roll on glitter like all over your body? Like that was like the thing, and I never want to see that again. It was a lot.
Yeah, I think I had like a roll-on glitter from like really old like Bath and Body Works. They used to do like the roll-on glitter, and then they have like almost like a kids line at Bath and Body Works of like roll-on glitter and all these like fruity scents. And then I was talking to you before how I used to have so many of my friends' birthday parties at Libby Lou where they would like do your hair.
Oh my
god, a ton of glitter on you.
Yes, that was the look. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about Libby Lou. That was like the dream.
Yeah, there was one in my mall and it was popping. It was, yeah. Yeah. And then also speaking of popping, my lip gloss is popping. Lip gloss is back in too. So I'm wearing this actually Charlotte Tilbury very sparkly lip gloss right now. Frosty lip gloss is in. This one's not super frosty. I don't know if I'm a big fan of like the frosted lips anymore, but I'm down for a little sparkle now and then. What do you think?
I think I did wear frosted today for the episode, but I don't know. I keep seeing myself in the Zoom image and I'm really not sure I could rock it on a normal day. I'm going to be honest. I found this. I had it in my cabinet and I didn't realize I had it. And I thought it was just a pink. And I had to get on a Zoom call for work this last week. And I like put it on. And then I looked at myself and I was like, I cannot wear this right now. But it's perfect for today. I don't know. Maybe it is growing on me. It's kind of like a really frosty pink, like baby pink. I don't know.
I don't see the frosty so much on my end. I see it more as like it's showing up more as like shine. but now I can
With
yeah.
lip gloss over the top and
Nice.
no, I don't know.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, so also talking about some trends that have come back from the early 90s or the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s are bucket hats. I'm not too sure about these. I think they're very cute. I've seen them on other people, but I haven't made the jump and bought them myself yet.
I don't know. That just reminds me of my second grade field trips. Had a baby blue one that I wore everywhere. And again, I had a really cool one that like the top zipped off and it was like you put your ponytail through it or whatever. I was pretty cool. But I don't know. That just reminds me too much of my childhood. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I lived it already. So
Exactly. Like so many of these trends we like bought from Limited too and like had them like
yes.
full out. So
Mm-hmm. That was my place. Yeah.
me
So
too.
great. So
It's so much fun. Yeah, and then also along with the hairstyles, we had to mention the middle part, which the Gen Z is jumping on now. My hair right now is in like a slightly side part. I don't know. I don't want to do a full on middle part. I used to do that and it just doesn't feel right for me. I don't know. I feel like the Gen Zers that have got on the middle part did not do the middle part when they were super young and like hated it, like hated how they looked when they were like really young. Like they're just like jumping on it now. They're like, oh yeah. Like I don't know. It just kind of brings me back to those days. I'm like, I don't want a middle part.
just a lot of pressure. Like I just because it's like uncool not to have one. I'm not gonna lie. I tried one out just a couple weeks ago. I've always had a side part my entire life. I've always had a side part. I tried a middle part out and I just felt weird. Like it was just like something was off. I like
Yeah.
part was off. But I also had bangs too for a long time when I was a kid. And I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I did go back to bangs in high school. I don't know
Oh,
if I didn't know you then, but I tried it out again. And my husband's like, you should do bangs again, just like do something different. I'm like, I don't know. They suck to grow out. Growing out
they do.
bangs are just,
The
it was
worst.
horrifying, but
Yeah. Yeah, I had bangs when I was like really, really young, but my hair is, well, I straighten it, but my hair is like too curly for like it. And
uh,
like the shorter pieces of my hair, like I have some little ones behind my ear, like the curlier they get. So it would just be like they would constantly be like frizzing up and just looking horrible. So I just like I cannot do bangs with my hair type. But yeah, that was something that we all had back then. And I'm like, I don't want to go back to it.
wow.
For some people, but
I thought about clip-in bangs just for like, a different look here and there because it was fun. I'm not gonna lie, it was fun when I rocked bangs. It wasn't fun that I had to get a haircut every like 3 weeks because you
yeah.
don't want them like too short and you don't want them like when they stick in your eyes, it's like being stabbed a million times in the eyes. And I have contacts, so my eyes were steel and I still like couldn't handle it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
It's pretty horrible.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. And other, speaking of like hats and hair, other hats that are coming back are like trucker hats, and especially trucker hats that say like Von Dutch or Ed Hardy. I haven't seen those too much, but I've seen them here and there, and I think they're gonna make a comeback pretty soon. And I'm not too sure about them. We already like went through the like Von Dutch Ed Hardy stage like in our early middle school and stuff, and I'm not too sure. High school, middle school, I'm not too sure I want it back.
Yeah, I still have nightmares about those days. No, I'm just kidding. But
Yeah.
yeah, I can't go back to this.
And then also we have fanny packs. I mean, maybe if you're at an amusement park or a festival, but I don't think I'm gonna rock a fanny pack every day. What do you think?
Well, the thing now too is they like drape them over their shoulder. Do they still
Oh,
do that? So it's like it's a miniature backpack. If you're draping over your shoulder, it's a tiny backpack. Nobody can fit anything in a tiny backpack. Like I have everything in my purse. Like they've gotten bigger over the years. So I think maybe if you're trying to consolidate for a theme park, like you said, or a hike, like first aid is very important. Keep that in your fanny. And like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have a child, so I need a big backpack with everything that I could need every minute in it. That would not fit in a fanny pack.
Exactly. And some other things are on the shoes trend are like the jelly sandals, or like a very squishy jelly. I wore those as a little kid all the time. They are back. I saw like when I was walking through Nordstrom, Gucci has like a pair of like jelly sandals, like just how they looked when I was a little kid. I'm like, I mean, they were cute when I was a little kid, but I don't think I want my feet sweating in them again right now. I don't know.
I've looked back fondly at my jellies, but also because I have a daughter right now and they're really big for little kids. I think just in general, I was looking at buying her some too. And I had a pair of jelly shoes in high school because they made a slight comeback then too. And it was just like, oh, this is so cool. I don't know. When I think of jelly shoes, I think of summertime and the warm weather and not being in school because that's when I was a kid wearing them. So I have fond memories of jelly shoes. And I think they're being done differently now a little bit. Like they're more jelly sandals instead of like slip-on shoe. Do you know what I'm talking about? When I was a kid, they were more flats maybe, or like had like a little buckle on them. So I think there's different ways that you can maybe do it, but if you do get really sweaty, it is a hazard in jelly.
Yeah, you could slip on out of them if you're not careful.
Yeah.
But yeah, but I agree with you. Like I think there's different ways that you could have them. I do actually, not jelly shoes, but I have a pair of like high heel, not super high heel, but like mules that are like sandals, and they're like blue and they're like plasticky-ish material on like the straps. And so I think that's a more modern way of doing it too.
Sure.
That's also fun.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of these have come back in modern ways. And then something else that I'm not too sure about are tube tops. I mean, they could be fun and sexy sometimes, but I'm just very concerned all the time about them slipping on off. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it's like when you went to homecoming and you had a strapless dress and you were dancing and you're like, this is not a good idea. So I don't know, tube tops, I did have a couple.
Yeah.
When I was younger. I would not do it now though. It's just a lot of dedication to wear one.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I might try one for a night out if it's like really like cinched on well, and also like when tube tops were in and nothing up top. Now I have a little more, so it might help keep on a bit. But maybe I'll try it. I'm not sure. So, yeah. Another thing that is, well, this one's more of an accessory, is choker necklaces. That came back strong like last year or so. Everyone was wearing choker necklaces. It's not my thing so much. Well, I never really wear necklaces in general. I'm just not a necklace person. I don't know why. I always wear earrings, rings, bracelets sometimes, but always earrings and rings. I don't know. I don't like the look of like a choker on me. I feel like it gives me weird proportion in a way, but it looks good on some people. What do you think?
It's an edgy look. I remember thinking it was so cool when I was in first grade and they were really big, and all the cool girls had like choker necklaces, or like Britney Spears was like the person I looked up to about whatever she wore. And I remember my first CD was Britney Spears and I wanted the exact outfit. She had a denim mini skirt and like a pink shirt, and if you have it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was just like a really cool look, and I do remember it coming back, and I thought it was kind of cool because I just like had that persona in my mind that's like an edgy cool look. I never got one myself because I feel like you wear them for certain occasions. Like I feel like it's I don't know, like if you're laying around in like sweatpants, you're not going to be wearing like a choker. Like it's for if you're like going out to go do something cool. Like it's like a cool look. So I'm not that cool. I don't know.
No, I think you are. You wear it with your
Oh, thank you.
flannel shirt and feel very 90s, but yeah. But no, I feel you. Like I definitely wore it a lot in elementary school, like some like rainbow stretchy ones. It's very
Yes. And they were all different colors, like colors tie-dye was like,
yeah.
oh, I loved tie-dye. Like there was just like everything tie-dye, so many colors. And that's probably why I wear a lot of more muted colors as an adult. But
But you're coming back to colors now, inspired by your daughter.
I'm trying slowly incorporating more color into
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. No, I love tie-dye. Like I used to wear tie-dye all the time as a little kid. I stopped for a while, but then like when the pandemic started and like some matching sweatsuits started, there was all these like really fun tie-dye matching sweatsuits. And I was like,
Yes.
I need them. I need them. Like it just makes you happy in a way. I really like it.
It does. I got one a few months ago too to just kind of be around in at
Yeah.
home because it's where we spend most of our time. So I'm just rocking that. Anything comfortable, I'm in.
Nice. Me
Mhm.
too. So yeah, so those are the trends that I'm like, on the fence about, don't want that are coming back. Other things that I thought were worth a mention that I have not seen totally come back, but I do not want them to come back is skirts and dresses over jeans and then
Oh
giant
my God.
belts on top for no purpose. And then also scarves on top for no purpose. Like, what the heck was that? I don't think Gen Z knows how ridiculous that looked when they're like, I love the 90s, I love the 2000s. I don't think they know how ridiculous that looked. Look up Ashley Tisdale on the red carpet and you'll see that look.
Okay, you know the movie Monster in Law with J Lo? Like one of my favorite movies ever. She was just like iconic in it because she had jeans and all these floral dresses over top the jeans. And there's a scene where she's walking dogs on the beach. And I was always like, she looks so angelic in her jeans, and I want a floral dress over it. Like that was lusted after. And now looking back at it, it's like, why? Because I know it morphed into, when I was like in high school, it morphed into leggings. Leggings were huge under skirts and that type of thing, and dresses, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's just so wild. I mean, I guess if you're running or something, you don't want to be in a dress with no pants under it, but it's a different time.
Yeah, and it's not even like some of the skirts were like or dresses were like super short. I don't know who came up with putting jeans under these. This really did not make sense, but I do not want to go back to that. I do not think that is necessary at all. So let's just keep that off TikTok and everything.
Everything you said is not practical. Like I did have so many belts that you would just wear because they were cool looking, like around your waist. Like you're not keeping anything up, girl. Like it's just there. And the scarves too. I have so many. I was obsessed, and they just like added something to your outfit. But I look back on pictures and I was wearing them with t-shirts. Like your neck is not cold. You are in a t-shirt. It is June. So it was just these, I think the things that aren't practical don't stick around. They're more of like just a trendy, like, oh, I'm gonna wear it differently, like type of thing. Maybe we'll wear scarves as belts again, or move the scarf to like bracelets or whatever. So I don't know. But they don't.
I feel like there's just this phase in the like early 2000s where it was like, oh, I just like went in my mom's closet and like put everything on all at once: the scarf, the belt, the jeans, the dress, just put it all on, the hat, the like little baker boy hat, whatever it's called.
I was gonna bring that up next. Those very like structured, I don't even know what they're called either. Those hats. I had so many of those.
Yeah. I had a few of them. I think I got like one in like pink from like limited two of like one of those and stuff.
They had the coolest stuff. They really did. And then you go to the back and they'd have like a little trinket section when you're about to check out. So it was like kind of like toys for you because you were younger, but then you get like cool clothes and you had like a diary, a fuzzy notebook with gel pens, and it was neat.
And everything had like your initial on it. So it'd be like a big C on a fuzzy notebook and like a big C on like a little purse and stuff. And then you throw over your shoulder, and so cute. And
They
yeah.
would have like keychains with your name on them. And I hated that phase because I could never find my name spelled right.
Oh,
It was like scarring. But anyway.
I don't know. I feel you. Yeah, that must be hard.
Rough.
Rough times. Rough times.
The 90s were hard, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
They were. And yeah, so besides from those things, other things that I got from Limited Too that I could live without were ponchos. Don't really know the point of that so much. Capris, wide leg cropped gauchos, I think they were called. I don't know.
Gaucho pants. I forgot about those. Those were huge. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah, I had a bunch of colors of those, but they were just so comfortable.
They were.
Up to them.
Yeah. There was gauchos, and you could even put like a long top and over it, and then like a belt, a big belt over that, and like
Well, now in a way, I feel like gaucho pants have sort of made a comeback just because they flare at your feet now, like really comfy, like track pants, leggings. They have that little flare to them, which is what the gaucho pant did, and it just feels like that swishy swish movement when you walk. You seem so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were great.
I agree. So there's that, and then I don't know, in high school and middle school, I was super duper obsessed with like wearing like an Abercrombie t-shirt that was like slightly shorter, and then a really, really long tank top underneath it that would then go over my low-rise jeans, and like the tank top would often have like a lace like little like hem peeking out. Like I just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
It was so cool. I had so many, like so many in different colors. And then I thought it was really cool to have like a printed one underneath because you're like, ooh, like there's a fun stripe or a polka dot or something, which yeah. And then I think the shirts morphed into just being tunics after that. And everybody was just wearing long shirts forever in middle school. I remember for me, that was
yeah, I remember it was like it kind of like went from like low-rise jeans to then like everyone being obsessed with like leggings, and you'd kind of sometimes wear like bigger shirts or longer shirts on top of that, and then it finally morphed back to the high rise and the smaller shirts, which is where we pretty much are now. We'll see how much the low rise really comes back. I'm not sure. I hope it doesn't come back.
Well, if people don't want it, then maybe it won't. We can't be forced to do this. And apparently our followers won't either because nobody wanted that from our poll. And I will fight it. I don't want to wear low-rise pants again. It's just, I don't know. Once you get used to the high rise too, I think once you try on a different pair of pants that's lower, which I did recently, even if it's still high rise, but it's like just a different rise, it just doesn't feel right to be in pants like that. Like it's really something you have to get used to. And it's funny thinking about like how we got to the high rise point too, because we did have to get used to that. And for a while it was considered like mom jeans and really uncool to have high-waisted. So the thought process behind that completely shifted. But I also think maybe it's because we're getting to the age where we are like older and it's just practical. But we're still cool, so it's fine.
obviously we're still cool. And so I think those are most of my trends that I do not want to come back. Is there anything else that you're excited about or like you want to come back or don't want to come back?
I don't know. I've been really into, I mean, this has been like for the past couple of years though, headbands. I'm
Oh
super
yeah,
into right now. I don't know if you've seen the home edit on Netflix.
not yet.
But Joanna on the home edit always has a really cool bright headband that matches all of her
Oh,
outfits and it's so trendy looking. And I just love that. And I think it really adds like an accessory, but again, it's comfortable and practical. So I'm really into that. And I really hope that those don't go away because I think that's really cool. But a majority of it, I mean, I don't know why I did a lot of those things back then. Like I don't know, I remember crimping my hair, and which is a completely different look than like a wave now.
mm.
And just the things that our hair has been through over the years. I'm thinking about people who are even born a decade or two before us, like with the teasing and the hairspray. It's just hard on your hair. So I'm glad that we're at a state where you can be more kind of natural with your hair and just leave it down and kind of do whatever the texture is with it and just rock that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I feel like we're in a phase more so now where it's just like clean hair, however it is, like your natural texture just works. Like there's no crazy
Yeah.
updos, crazy crimping, teasing, any of that in right now. So I think that's nice and easy on the hair.
Give your hair a break. Yeah. And growing up too, I think it was in middle schoolish for me where like beach waves were like beginning to be really, really big. So everybody wanted the wavy hair and then everybody wanted like the really curly hair. And it's like just rock it. Like I think we're getting to a point where people can it's just like accepted to have whatever kind of hair you have or whatever kind of clothes. Like things are trendy, but like almost nothing is out of style anymore in a sense.
Nothing is out of style, you're saying?
Yeah, to it like because I feel like people are wearing big t-shirts. I feel like the tight crop tops are still in style. Like there's all different kinds of shirts that people are wearing and jackets and everything that it's almost as if anything goes. It's just kind of scary to see old decades recycle themselves right
Yeah.
now. It's like a quarter life crisis where you're like, I'm old enough for this. And then the younger generations like, this is so cool. Look at this skirt. And you're like, oh, I wore that in elementary school and it's not new. And I'm sure people older than us have felt that again and again over the years. And I
Yeah,
feel
like
bad about
my yeah, like my mom has said to me, "Oh, I think I've worn something like that in high school, whatever." Like it comes back, but like this has been like the first like major time where it's like, "Whoa, we wore that in middle school and high school, and now that's like back in full force." Like that's
Well, it also
crazy.
makes it harder to clean out my closet because I keep a lot of old things because I'm like, this is gonna come back in a couple years and I'm going to wear this again. And I have before, and I've gotten compliments, and I'm like, thanks. I bought it 8 years ago and it's been sitting in my closet, like a jacket or something. Like, oh, I like your new jacket. Where'd you get it? I'm like, I have no idea because it was purchased in high school and I guess it's back in style now. So
That's awesome.
it accumulates. So I'm like, oh, I already have one of those. Oh, I already have this because I wore it 10 years ago.
Yeah. Fashion always comes back around.
It really does. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. To wrap up the episode, we talked about what we're watching. I thought it would be fun that we could talk about our favorite 90s, early 2000s movies because I feel like that was like the golden age personally. I feel like there were so many classics during that time. I feel like movies are made very differently now. And they're just like we've quoted Mean Girls how many times throughout today's episode? That's
Yeah.
iconic. So, what were you watching growing up? What could you still turn on today and be like, this is incredible?
Yeah, so I was obsessed with Mean Girls. I was obsessed with anything with Lindsay Lohan in it. Like I loved The Parent Trap, Freaky Friday, Herbie Fully Loaded, was that one of them, I think?
It
Where she was in
was.
the
It
car.
was. Yeah.
I loved all of her movies. And then also kind of like I feel like the early 2000s kind of had like a ditzy like movie phase. Like I loved Legally Blonde. I loved The House Bunny. I don't know. I just find those movies to be really fun and like bring me back to that time. So I love that. And also Twilight did come out in 2008. That's when it first came out, and that was huge, huge
Gosh, it
in
was.
middle school, high school is crazy.
It was
Yeah.
the Lizzie McGuire movie. This is what dreams are made of. Like that movie was so good. I was obsessed with Hilary Duff too. I had her on a wall calendar in my room, listened to her albums all the time. She was so great at the time too. And also Amanda Bynes. But obviously, I'm wearing a SpongeBob shirt today. I grew up on Nickelodeon, so I was watching all that. I was watching the Amanda show. I wanted to be Amanda Bynes. I actually, because I've wanted to work in entertainment my entire life, I had the Kelsie show when I was a kid. My brother and I would use my parents' old video camera and do like, that's totally Kyle, and like bring in the dancing lobsters and super fun things like that. And I have babysitters and family friends who still bring it up today. Like, oh, the Kelsie show. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so
funny.
Or do you remember Zoom? That was another really fun favorite of mine. And I think it was on PBS, but it was just a bunch of kids our age. Yeah. And they did crafts, and like the theme song was like Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. And it was just so fun. I think it was just fun to see kids our age on TV. And it's, I mean, obviously people still like to do that. Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, we're still seeing like young actors and stuff, but those were some of my favorite ones. Yeah, and any Amanda Bynes movie, like She's the Man, Sydney White. There's so many, and now I have to go watch them all.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, that's what I'm gonna be doing this weekend while wearing my new 90s clothes that have come back. It's gonna just be a strange picture, but thanks everybody. Thanks everybody for listening to episode 10. That's a big deal for us. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already at Pen Pals Podcast. It's Pen double N on Instagram. You can also check us out on YouTube if you want to see our super fun outfits. And you can listen on Spotify, Google, Apple Podcasts. Rate us. Let us know what you think. If there's like a trend that is just blowing your mind right now, a blast from the past, let us know that we are not alone in this. And thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.